Normally, I find these videos where you just read an article and talk about it kind of lazy, but this is breaking news that needs to get out pretty quickly, and my friend Zach over at Adventure Rider has written a great article about it. So the news is, as you probably saw from the headline or the title of the video, KTM has been saved. I've been saying all along that they were going to be saved. This brand is not going to die. There's no way. It's either going to be a buyout or they'll find some way to restructure, and it sounds like it's the second option. So I'm going to read you part of this because Zach wrote it better than I could ever say it. KTM AG, the corporate structure that controls KTM, Husqvarna, and GasGas, has been given a lifeline. After a much-publicized showdown in Austrian bankruptcy court today, KTM AG must start repayment of its creditors in part, with the potential for full repayment in the long term. There's a really interesting story with this publicized showdown. He talks about it a little bit lower down, but an American hedge fund owns a lot of their debt, and they wanted, more money. Interesting. I don't know the ins and outs of that kind of business, but it's just funny to me. The step is legally binding before KTM could move forward with production under its restructuring plan. Yes, they are going to restart the production lines. So details of the deal: KTM must repay $548 million by May 23rd. This is 30% of the money they owe. Perhaps more will be repaid in the future, but it seems like the debt has been written off. Creditors are not happy, but reports from Europe say they would only have received 15%, so they're getting twice as much with this deal. They could have also been required to wait for as long as 2 years, while the current deal sees the debt settled in 3 months. Much of KTM's debt has been purchased by the US-based White Box hedge fund, who is pressuring KTM to pay back more than the 30%. Euro magazine's report KTM's AG reps had been trying to work out a deal to make everyone happy until late Monday, and that it took 5 hours in court today to finalize the details. At this point, KTM has not officially stated where it will get the €500 million. However, there is potential investment coming from within through Pure, I didn't look that one up, AG, that's their parent company, as well as companies like Bajaj, who have already funded much of KTM AG's growth. We do know that the Indian vehicle manufacturer is a confirmed key to the restructuring plan, as KTM AG has also secured €50 million in funding from Bajaj to restart the factory's production lines, which is good. So this is the press release from them. I think what's most interesting is what Zach has written here at the bottom. The story isn't over. Great Winston Churchill quote. It's the end of the beginning. KTM nails down funding or doesn't, and as various stakeholders are placated or aren't, we will hear plenty more about this in the months to come. This is the important thing. However, we should see manufacturing started on 2025 models in coming weeks, with some of KTM's Austrian workforce back on the production line. That much, at least, is good news. So as far as what this all means, we don't know for sure, but I think we can speculate. There's a lot of articles, by the way. I went through a bunch of places. Jalopnik. Ride Apart's all about how mysterious it is that we don't know who's investing the money that's saving them. That is sort of mysterious. I'll give you that. As far as what's going to happen now, we don't really know, but I'm going to guess, and I'm super biased because I care a lot more about one part of the industry than I do others, because that's what I ride. But we do know that dual sport and adventure bikes are the fastest growing segment and one of the only segments that are growing in the world of motorcycle manufacturing. KTM has street bikes. Did you know that? Most people, I feel like, don't realize it. When you think KTM, you think they won Dakar this year, they make really great adventure bikes, and their dual sports are awesome. You don't really think about their street bikes, or at least I don't. Again, I have a very narrow lens. So here's what I think is going to happen. They have to restructure, they have to double down on what's working, and they're going to have to cut some fat what isn't working. I think they're going to cut their street models back, if not eliminate them entirely, and really double down on the stuff they have coming out that's going to be massive hits. The 390 Adventure R, the new one, even the 390 Enduro R, even though it's a very heavy dual sport, is still a lot of bike for the money. Obviously, the new 790 is a lot cheaper. They can sell it cheaper and still make money. And the 890 Adventure R is still the king of the middleweight adventure bikes. The 1390 is coming out. I just think KTM is going to become a lot more of an adventure bike dual sport company and maybe stop doing a lot of the things that sell fewer units that are less profitable. At least on the U.S. side. Obviously, I can't speak for what that looks like internationally. Other countries don't have the kinds of adventure riding opportunities that we have here in the U.S. But that's my guess as an outsider, not as a person who knows anything about the business of manufacturing and selling motorcycles. But hopefully this means new bikes will start coming in, and all of this stuff that's sitting on dealerships, which there's less now. At least my local KTM dealer has a lot less inventory. They sold it all off, at a huge discount, and so now they're not sitting on 2 years worth of stuff. But my hope is you'll start seeing new bikes very soon. And the biggest question I've gotten on my videos where I've recommended the new 390 is, do you even think it'll come out? I never had any doubt that was going to happen, and it is going to come out because it was going to make money for somebody, and the R&D is already done. You don't just throw that away. I think with the plants restarting, you'll see those bikes sooner rather than later, and I'm all for competition, and even if KTM isn't my favorite brand, I didn't want to see them go away, and I'm glad they got this figured out. So what do you guys think? Let us know in the comments. What do you think about my boy Zach's articles? He put all that together. What do you think KTM's going to do? What do you think about my theory about them moving towards more of a focus on off-road? I'm curious about that. And are you happy or sad that KTM will continue to exist? Let us know in the comments. So I hope you'll forgive me for this quick, dirty, and lazy video, but I wanted to get this out today. Back to your regularly scheduled programming next week. Thank you for watching. I appreciate you, and please do not forget to be excellent to each other. Oh, thank you.